1 year after taking Sam Darnold at number 3 overall, the Jets bring in Adam Gase to help progress Sam along his quarterback journey. Let's take a look back through the last 2 seasons and see if Sam Darnold has progressed. Jets, Jets, Jets! Welcome to Jets Talk. My name's Ryan. I'll be your pilot today. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before, welcome back. I love having you here. Guys, we're going to take a deep dive into this ball sack tap of a season and dive into Sam's stats to see if he has progressed from year 1 to year 2. And this was a mixed bag for us over the course of the season. We had everything from Sam Darnold getting mono all the way to him seeing ghosts at MetLife Stadium against the Patriots, which I have a theory about that. I think he was just having PTSD and flashbacks from him making that girl moan like a ghost. So, Casper, get the hell out of here. We are moving forward with Sam Darnold. For those of you that have followed my channel in the past, you'll know I did a For Better or Worse series last year. This is going to be sort of that same idea. And these are the statistics we're going to look at. We're going to look at completion percentage, yards, total touchdowns, interceptions, yards per game, quarterback rating, fourth quarter comebacks, game-winning drives, protection, and his overall win-loss record. When we look to compare Sam against last year's stats, we do have a relatively even playing field, 13 games last year, 13 games this year, with the injury last year, the mono this year. So it's sort of a, even sample size, if you will. But let's jump right into it. The first is going to be completion percentage, 57.7 in 2018, 61.9 in 2019. That is a good increase for Sam. You might ask, were the plays called higher percentage plays, higher completion rate type plays that Adam Gase was calling? And the answer to that is, I'm not really sure. 6.9 per attempt was last year and this year. It was basically a flat line. So when you look at his yards, last year 2,865 yards versus 3,024 yards this year. Obviously, we had more pass attempts and more completions this year in 2019. So both these categories look good in terms of improvement from Sam. Up next, let's take a look at his total touchdowns. Last year in 2018, we had 17 passing touchdowns, 1 rushing touchdown. This year, 19 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns, so it's nice to see that increase there. I think we probably would have seen a little bit more rushing from Sam. I think there was probably some type of directive to tell him to back off with the whole spleen injury. We don't want to see you get too many hits. You're already taking a ton of shots this year as it is. Next, we'll look at his interceptions. When you look at last year, he had 15. This year, 13. We're trending in the right direction, so that's obviously really good. One thing to note with these 13 interceptions, one of those games was the New England game where Sam threw 4 picks, the whole seeing ghosts thing. So outside of that, relatively good. Would like to see that number come down a little bit more. He still had a lot of plays that I felt like could have been turnovers that he kind of got bailed out of, but overall trending in the right direction there. In terms of yards per game, last year 220 yards per game, this year 232 yards per game, so a little uptick there. Like to see that. Quarterback rating, same thing, 77.6 last year, 84.3 this year, trending in the right direction. When we look at his fourth quarter comebacks, last year he had 1, this year he's got 2. Game-winning drives, 1 versus 3 this year. So trending in the right direction in terms of getting us that victory and hopefully fighting back through adversity. In terms of his record, last year he was 4-9. This year he was 7-6. And this is something that you might say, oh, well, look, the schedule was easier this year. So I looked at the strength of schedule for the games that Sam actually played, not the team's strength of schedule. Last year was a .490. This year is a .452. So slightly easier in terms of that, but overall kind of negligible. And the big thing that I want to look at here is protection. Last year, he had the 18th best pass protection offensive line. This year, we had the 31st, and this is a huge area that we need to look at when grading Sam Darnold. You have 11 different starting offensive linemen, 9 different combinations across the board, and you only have 13 games that Sam was able to play with these guys. So when you look at the shuffling that we had to do all season here, it's nothing short of a miracle that Sam has actually improved. Was Sam's improvement because of Adam Gase, or was this, in spite of Adam Gase? I know a lot of us were frustrated with the play calling, but overall, Sam did improve from last year to this year. So if you're looking at the mission statement from last offseason was, hey, let's improve Sam Darnold, let's surround him with talent and see him improve. That did happen. The talent, we wrote it away. We did have a ton of injuries. When you look at how many injuries we had this year, I want to say it was something like $62 million or $70 million worth of money that was on the IR. You guys know I've harped on that. This was a historically injury-prone season, so I don't foresee this being like this in the future, even though we have a much harder schedule next season. We're facing the NFC West and the AFC West, so much harder schedule. we have an opportunity here to see Sam take that next step. And if everything can stay healthy and we can improve this offensive line, I think we really have a true franchise quarterback here on our hands. Guys, let me know what you think of everything down below in the comments. And as always, go Jets.